Thank you so much. So I can't be the only one that really wants Rory and Nola to adopt me, right? Like I fell completely in love with the McDermotts. I should have known that was coming because I just think that Drew is the greatest asset that we all have on the Neolife corporate side. And I don't say that because he's on here and listening. It's not that. It is because he understands fundamentally how to build this business because he and his beautiful wife did just that. And he brought that to the corporate side. So I tell everyone that Drew is my favorite. I don't even shy away from it. So I should have known that I would fall in love with his parents. Anyone that raised, that extraordinary fella and loaned him to Neolife, they are extraordinary. So thank you so much for letting me be here. I'm not going to talk very long, but I did want to just pop in here really quick and add to what Dr. Bland said. So first of all, that was an incredible product testimony. And I hope that you caught at the end that because he loves the product so much, there was an income opportunity that completely changed his life, even though it wasn't what he was looking for. And that is a normal story that we hear all the time. You know, I love this business because he said it changed the course of his health. And likewise, it changed the course of his financial health, if you will. And that's exactly what happened to myself and my husband. When Neolife, well, not Neolife, but I built a business with another company. So when direct sales came into my life, I didn't want it. I was not looking for it. As a matter of fact, I said, I don't want to do one of those things. But I didn't know what one of those things actually was. I had no idea what I was saying no to. And the majority of people that you talk to, they don't either. So I love getting into conversations with people who say they don't want to do this because I just ask them, okay, so what is it that you think this is? Like, what is it that you don't like? Because truly, I don't know very many people that don't like freedom of choice, right? I don't know very many people that don't like the freedom to do what they want with their time and what they want with their money. That's exactly what freedom was to us. So, direct sales came into our life. I didn't really want to do it, but I heard this quote and it changed my life. And if you want this quote after it's over, I'll send it to the McDermotts and they can send it out to you. That way you don't have to write as fast as my American accent goes. So here's the quote. It said, "The most dangerous risk of all is the risk of spending your life not doing what you want on the bet that you can buy yourself the freedom to do it later." So I'm going to say it one more time. The most dangerous risk of all is the risk of spending your life not doing what you want on the bet that you can buy yourself the freedom to do it later. That quote, in and of itself, explains exactly where myself and my husband were when direct sales found us. We were on a path. My husband was active duty military. I was contracted to 7 different jobs. I was a personal trainer and massage therapist. I could not get an eighth job. I was out of time and I had 2 babies at home. My husband could not get an extra job. He deployed quite often. And we were on a path to retirement that eventually was going to lead there, right? So that was at the end of this hallway, and that was where we were going. And we never thought about we thought about doing different things, but we never acted on doing anything because the path we were on was safe. And we knew that it did lead to retirement. But what did that retirement look like? We wanted it to look like freedom. So we had to define to ourselves like what freedom is. So if I could give you homework, I would like for you to define what freedom really is to you. Because once we defined it, we were able to get really clear on how to get there. So to us, our definition is the freedom to do what you want with your time, or what we wanted with our time, and what we wanted with our money. So what that meant to us is if my husband wanted to stay in the military, he could choose to do that. But I never wanted him to deploy and kiss him goodbye for a year, knowing that he was doing that to put food on our table. You know, like he was going to put himself in harm's way to put food on our table. That's not what we're about. I wanted him to have his job because it's his passion and it's what he loves to do. So I wanted him to have the opportunity to do what he wanted with his time and his money, no matter what that is. And the same for me, except I knew I wanted to quit one job at a time until I didn't have any more. It was very clear for me. So when we heard that quote, it was one of those things that we knew we had been presented with an opportunity and we couldn't unsee what we saw. We couldn't unlearn what we learned and we couldn't unhear what we heard. That is what happened when you get that's what happens when you get to large events. Even the event like tomorrow night in Mozambique, on Saturday in Johannesburg, but especially at your impact summits. That's what happens. You learn, you see, and you hear things that you cannot undo. And then it's on you to take action or not. But what I love about Neolife specifically is that we have keyed in on the fact that talent is equally distributed. So no matter where you're from, what kind of dumb accent you have, I wish that my accent was as beautiful as all of yours. No matter, where you were born, what you look like, what your job is, what your educational standpoint is, talent is equally distributed, but opportunity is not. And what we get to do in Neolife is we get to offer people the opportunity to change their life in many ways. And it's in the ways that they choose. So I don't come into someone's life and say, oh man, you really need to make, 100,000 extra dollars. That's not what I do. I just offered them an opportunity to change their life. They're the ones that actually change their life. But I love being a part of the connection. I love that I went before other people so that I can shine the light and show them the way. I can shine the light on the path and show them that it is a possibility and that there is hope out there if they are struggling, because we were struggling. We had a roof over our head, we had food on the table. So we were blessed already, more blessed than a lot of the world, but we dreamt of more. And we were not making any plans. We were not doing anything that was getting us any closer to what we wanted out of life, which was putting our kids through college so they didn't have the debt. It was traveling the world. That is what we love to do. It is our passion to see other countries and live amongst other cultures. I love it. When we had kids, we vowed to each other that we were going to raise global citizens because we didn't want them to be raised obnoxious Americans. So we wanted to travel the world and let them experience other cultures, but we couldn't do it because we couldn't afford it. And then an opportunity came into our life, and all of a sudden, our talent that was equally distributed, but very different. My talent's very different from my husband's. We were able to take our talents and insert them into this opportunity, and it changed the legacy of our family forever. We went from living paycheck to paycheck and falling asleep at night with an elephant on my chest because I didn't know what we would do if the rug was ripped out from underneath us. We went from the paycheck to paycheck life and elephant on our chest to being able to travel the world with our kids, to being able to do what we wanted with our time and what we wanted with our money. And truthfully, the greatest thing that this industry ever gave to me was that time. It was being able to walk past an overtime board. That was payment to me. It didn't come in form of a paycheck. It came in form of time with my family. So what we decided to do is we decided to move into an RV or a camper van. I don't know what you call it over here, but an RV, recreational vehicle. Move into an RV and travel around the United States because we visited a lot of other countries once we had started this business. And we really wanted to experience our own because it's very vast if you travel to the 50 states. So we moved into an RV when our kids were in middle school. And that's the ages I was trying to figure it out with Drew the other day when middle school is for you all. And it's like 8, 9, 10, 11, right around in there. That's the time in a kid's life where they don't know who they are, but everyone around them is trying to tell them who they are. And I didn't want the loudest voice in my young children's heads to be those other young kids that don't know who they are either. We wanted to be the loudest voices in our kids' heads. So we decided to move into our RV, take them out of school and homeschool them, travel around the country. And the reason that I say that's the greatest payment that this opportunity has ever afforded us, ever given us, is because they got a front row seat to us building this business. They got a front row seat to hard work and hard work paying off. They got a front row seat to their parents dreaming big and being really scared and doing it anyway. But maybe the greatest gift of all is they got a front row seat to us falling on our face and failing. They had a front row seat to when we set a goal and we didn't meet it and we were frustrated and we didn't want to keep going, but we had to lace up our bootstraps and like pick them up and get going the next day. You can quit in this business if you want for like 5 minutes, but you can't quit for 10. You can't quit for a half a day. You can't quit for a whole pay period. But like we quit a lot of times for 5 minutes, just long enough to look in our kids' eyes and realize that we could not set that example and we got right back up. And I'm so thankful that we had the opportunity to do that because success is an uncommon path. And to show them that path and lead the way down that path, I am proud to say we've got a 20-year-old in college in Barcelona. We've got an 18-year-old in college, in 3 weeks. My baby moves to college in 3 weeks. Any mothers on the call with sons, it is extraordinarily difficult. So I'm glad that I'm running around Africa and I'm not there focusing on that because I would just be crying every day. So he moves to college in 3 weeks, and they are on a path to success, whatever it is that that looks like for them. So I just wanted to say, with this opportunity, we were able to fix the holes that were in our roof before it really started raining. We had some holes in our roof. It had just not started raining yet. Later down the line, it started raining. And I'm so thankful that this opportunity came into our life and we were able to pay off all of our debt. We were able to get into a good financial position because when it started raining, had we not fixed the roof, we would have been in trouble. So I think that there are some people here tonight, maybe you have a few holes in your roof and it's not raining yet, no big deal. I think there are others probably listening tonight or that that it is already raining. And you know that you are looking for an opportunity that can help you fix the holes in the roof. They can help you patch it up, right? And I want you to know that I have been there. Most people building this business have been there at one time or another. And I just want you to remember that how boring would your story be with no adversity, right? And you've just front loaded the adversity in your story. There are some people that come and they start here and they're like, I don't need the money. I'm just really happy to hang around with these people. That is great. But life goes like this. You're either in a crisis, coming out of a crisis, or going into a crisis. So eventually, you're going to need these people around you to support you through that crisis. You may need a financial opportunity to support you through that crisis. Or you may need what Dr. Bland talked about earlier, and that is these products to support you through the next crisis that's going to hit you. But without seeing what we have here, you can never do anything about it. So if you're here tonight and you're listening, you honestly, I don't want to step on your toes, but you really have no choice but to look into it at least. And if you already are a part of Neo Life, which I think all of you are, you really have no choice but to look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you really going to do this? Are you really going to take this seriously and take the next step? Because there are people all around you every day who need someone to shine the light on the path that is uncommon. They need someone to shine the light on what you already know works. And one of my favorite lyrics in a song is it says, find something that you love and do it every day. Do that for the rest of your life, and eventually the world will change. I love that. It gives me chills every time I hear it because I found something that I love and I'm so blessed to get to do it every day. And if I do this for the rest of my life, eventually my world will change, my family's world will change, my community's world will change. And because Neolife has two solutions, and please know that there are two because we love our products. Love our products. We have a health solution, but we also have a financial solution. And if we're only ever sharing one, we're missing half the mission here. And our mission is to give people the opportunity to live healthier and happier lives. Healthier and happier lives. The world's two biggest problems, health and finances. Neolife has found something that it loves, and we do it every day. And if we do this for the rest of our life, I have already seen the world change because of both of these solutions, not just the one. So I hope I hope that was quick enough. I think that we've gone over a little bit for your time, but I just wanted to jump on and tell you that I appreciate you all. I thank you so much for welcoming me into your country. I really hope the McDermotts do adopt me. That would be fantastic. But I'm going to be bringing my family back to the area, and I hope that you all get to meet my wonderful husband. He is the best part of me. So if you tolerated me, you will absolutely end up loving him and our kids. So we are going to be back. But I hope that the next time we come back, every single meeting room is doubled in size. Because the only way that we're going to grow South Africa and we're going to grow Southern Africa and East Africa is for all of us to take up the mantle of leadership, which is what it is. It is the glorious burden of leadership. Put that mantle on our shoulders and talk to one more person and invite one more person. And if everybody that showed up invites one more person, then we're going to make Drew and Brandon's job very difficult because they're going to have to find all new meeting rooms for us. But I know that it's possible. And if it's not possible for you to share with one other person, you really do just have to ask yourself, why are you doing this? And I think if you dive in on that, you'll find something that you can latch onto that'll make you talk to one more person. So thank you so much to all of you. Thank you so much, McDermott's, for letting me be here. I can't wait to see you on Saturday.